Welcome back, everybody, for the third installment of Luke McKee and I talking about pedophilia globally. And today we're going to be focusing on mainly what's going on in the U.S. Is that correct, Luke? Well, Luke is getting ready for everything. I think he's kind of muted himself, but we're going to. What we're going to focus on is how the pedophilia of the OTO has made its way into America via the Democrat Party, and lobbyists and people of the political class abusing their power and abusing children, and then calling any criticism of such as a vilification or a criminal act of persecuting homosexuals or the LGBTQ plus P movement. This is the militant LGBTQ plus P movement. So please understand that this is not criticism of every single gay person in the world. This is a criticism of those practicing in private and openly pedophilia and trying to normalize pedophilia. So, are you ready to go, Luke? I think you muted yourself.
Yes, I am ready to go. This time I've got the live broadcast. I can see what you're putting on the screen, albeit with some delay. So today in Parliament in Australia, Mark Latham introduced what I dubbed as the Stop the Boy Lover Bill, a bill designed to stop a vexatious litigant, Gary Burns. Gary Burns is my gay stalker since 2009, and he came after my father, Jeffrey McKee, and my sister and my mother and my wife and our kids. And that's what you call gay mafia tactics.
Good Lord. So you want to let's start with the tweet that we have here. What are we looking at?
Oh, okay. This is a good one to look at. I'm so busy. I've got 3 parliamentary submissions to work on right now. One for the ACNC that registers charities in Australia to take down the OTO. And one we're looking at now is I'm going to put a submission in just before the deadline tomorrow about how the gay lobby is asking for the right to do live public sex acts in public. Okay, so what you should do is you should open up that whole thread that this tweet you're looking at is in. Just go back to click on the time of this tweet so you can see all the tweets, and we'll go down through them in order. This will be the subject of my submission to the historical gay hate crimes inquiry. See, they make a big deal. Click on these. You click on Jan 31. The word Jan 31 on the tweet with the 4 pictures.
Okay.
January 31st, the date.
Oh, there we go. So this is all this stuff right here.
No, go down and click on the tweet that I shared that has January 31st, the date. January. Show the thread. Okay, good. Okay, so scroll up to the top. Okay. Now, it's funny that Twitter is blurring my images, okay? So we'll go up to the top. Up to the top, up. Is that the top?
Yep, this is the top.
Can you go? Really? And then there's more, up.
So it starts at, you mean the one that had a different name on it to the applicant in the court case? That's as far.
Yeah. So, Gary Burns had used an older psych report with his real name on it in an earlier court case. I was wrong with that. But he used a psych report with his real name on it when he was going to court under a fake name previously. So, I got given this psych report by someone who was not John Sunhol. This psych report says that Gary Burns claims the doll because he is allegedly a victim of a anti-gay hate crime. His own story is he went into Marks Park in Bondi Junction, which is a designated gay public sex crime location. And he approached what he called himself some young teenagers. So I don't know why you're approaching young teenagers in a gay public sex park, but you can imagine he calls them young teenagers himself. And they allegedly violently rejected his attempts for young teenager child sex. And because of that, he's the victim, not the perpetrator. So the psych report mentions that, but if you scroll down a bit more, okay.
Or do you want me to just scroll down?
No, scroll down. Yep.
Right here.
Oh no, that he uses this to claim the doll over this story. Now you should see a link there to Sydney Star Observer gay newspaper. Can you open up that link? Yeah, right in the middle of the screen, Star Observer.
I got to stop screen share and then go to it so that I can get to that particular coroner's report.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep. Okay.
So, do you want me to? So it's more than 14 years since gay Wollongong newsreader Ross Warren disappeared from Tamarama Park. His death is finally on the record.
Yeah, just to scroll down. Just scroll down. The real date of this is 2005, by the way, because the website was only updated with all their old articles in 2008. Now, if you scroll down to where you see mentioned to Gary Burns.
Okay.
Okay. Up. Yep.
So Gary Burns, second to last person to give evidence during the inquest was former Bly candidate Gary Burns. Approximately 90 police statements relating to Burns' dealings with NSW New South Wales Police were presented by Patrick Sadie, representing the police service. Sadie tried to have all of Burns' evidence dismissed, suggesting he was a vexatious complainant who regularly made unreasonable claims about police efforts. The statements tendered by Sadie, including claims Burns had presented himself as a member of parliament and a friend of the police commissioner to young police officers, had little to do with the subject of the inquest. Millage ruled. Burns told the court he regularly attended beats, which those are, as I understand, are places where homosexuals meet for sex, to warn people about their dangers. Burns had also recently informed Bankstown newspaper about a gay beat in the area. The inquest was adjourned.
Yeah, so Patrick Sadie said Gary Burns has delusions of grandeur and he is a nut job. Okay, that's what, and obviously Patrick Sadie knew Gary Burns' real name, not the fake name he was allowed to use in court and in the media before the year 2013. Because, you know, if you put his real name into case law, Gary Richard Burns, you can see that he's been arrested by the police for instigating fights with them.
So he's
go back to the Twitter.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, so I'm gonna put in a submission showing that the gay lobby is asking for the right to fuck in front of children in public, using these historical hate crimes as the muse to do that. They've done it before and they'll do it again. So you go back to Twitter. We'll show some of the more evidence there.
So do you want me to just go down?
Yeah. Now if you look on, there's the judge of the inquiry. Okay. Did not have the same views as the police prosecutor because she was a gay activist judge. Can you click on those two images on the right? I go up. Oh. The one from the court. No. Okay. Go back.
There we go.
Okay, now that's a submission from Sydney Beat Project to Parliament. Can you go back up to the letter from the judge?
Coroner?
Yeah, the coroner, that's the one. Yeah, okay. So if you read that email, she's writing a letter to Gary Burns when he was using his fake name and praising him for testifying about the time he tried to do a public sex crime and approach young teenagers in the public park. It shouldn't be good that people who fake gay hate crimes should be encouraged by the judge, after they gave testimony and thanked, and when the police was saying this guy is a nut job.
Good Lord. So, in the notice of intent, a submission should be okay. So essentially,
that's encouragement from the judiciary.
So essentially, Gary Burns was in a park, and he approached young men trying to get sex.
He faked the story. The police have no record of this happening, but he testifies it to court that it did.
So, and the thing is, the courts kind of side with the gay lobby, I'm assuming, in Australia.
Yes, they do. Yeah, he uses this to claim the mental disability pension from his fake gay hate crime. There's a financial motive for lying. It's called Centrelink fraud.
And what is that? What do they get? So from that, what do they get? What financial benefit do they get from that? Like
he doesn't have to work, and he gets Social Security from the government on the mental disability pension for PTSD for the crime young teenager for the time that allegedly he says 3 sometimes, but he says 6 other times. He can't get his own story straight. We'll go through the images in a second. Okay. So now can you have a look at those 4 images there, and we'll go through them one by one.
Do you want me to read that?
I open up the 4 images you see there.
Okay. I pretty much just does it one at a time.
Okay.
So the current gay lesbian client consultant, Mr. Tulin, told the inquest that some of the private...
just go to Gary Burns, one witness, a gay man. Oh.
This one?
You're jumping around a lot. Yeah.
Oh, shit. There we go.
You got it.
And police harassment.
No, go back. You're just there. Where you see the red writing. One witness, a gay man. The top left one.
Okay. One witness, a gay man, gave this evidence. One witness, a gay man, gave this evidence regarding beats. My philosophy is very simple. A lot of gay guys don't agree with me, but I believe it's all over Red Rover. It's all over Red Rover. You know, the days of going and doing beats, searching for partners, and that is dangerous, risky business. And I'm not saying that people who go there deserve any sort of retaliation, but I'm saying we need to take responsibility for our own behavior. And I think the message needs to go out loud in the gay community, which I am part of. I believe that we need to look at these things and say, okay, these are the problems, right? We need to send the message out that we shouldn't be going down to these parks because it's too dangerous. With all good intentions, the police officers, many of them, are trying to do their best with limited education on how to deal with the problem.
Now, Gary Burns just did an interview on Joy 94.9 saying, I'm not part of the gay community. I do this activism because I want to. And previously there was a Facebook page. The first Facebook page I ever saw censored was a group of homosexuals saying Gary Burns doesn't speak for us. You can search that.
He's saying that he's not gay. Is that?
I would argue in court he isn't gay because we've found evidence that he is done pedophilic acts, and the court has Gary Burns himself says anyone who associates homosexuality with pedophilia is a hate criminal, and the courts have ruled that pedophiles aren't gay, and they've created this legal fiction. Now, I don't believe that, because the majority of pedophiles are either gay or straight. Only 1% of pedophiles exclusively love children. And, Gary Burns, there's been many, many cases of him being linked to pedophilia. There's the Sparkles the Pony Facebook page, which was used to stalk where he thought I worked abroad, which had him and his friends joking about abusing a Queensland boy, about riding him all night. You've got Gary, the last broadcast, we looked at some of Gary Burns lusting for young, beautiful gay boys on his Facebook. There's lots and lots of links. And then, of course, there's the penis picture he was sending out to Craigslist underage child prostitutes, which was forwarded to the police. And the response the child prostitute gave back to him was youngasian.jpg. But if Gary Burns shouldn't have any standing to lodge any complaints because he's not a homosexual, he's a pederast.
And for those who don't at home who are American and haven't heard pederast before, it's essentially a term for pedophile. Same thing.
No, older than like pubescent boys as opposed to prepubescent. Anyway, now look at the press release from Reverend Fred Niles. And
that's okay. Yeah, I see it. So, parliamentary leader, Christian Democratic Party, Parliament House, blah blah blah. Media release: Reverend Fred Niles concerned over the operation of the Anti-Discrimination Board and any evidence of bias. In this question of notice to the New South Wales Parliament on Wednesday, 19th November 2014, Mr. Niles asked the following: Attorney General, Justice, Anti-Discrimination. Reverend Mr. Niles to the Minister of Aging, Minister for Disability Services, and Minister for Illawarra, representing the Attorney General and Minister for Justice. The annual report of the New South Wales Anti-Discrimination Board shows that it has been in consultation since 2008, primarily with gay and lesbian groups and unions, including the Sydney Beat Project, regarding anti-discrimination laws as they apply to religious organizations and private educational institutions. These reports do not indicate that religious organizations or private educational institutions were invited to participate in any consultations regarding anti-discrimination laws. Furthermore, a website run by the Sydney Beat Project states that it aimed to seek legislative change to remove homophobic laws and decriminalize public sex in NSW. In New South Wales, looking at the Amsterdam model and similar moves in the UK for direction, does the Attorney General believe that it is appropriate for the New South Wales Anti-Discrimination Board to run consultations regarding anti-discrimination laws as they apply to religious organizations and private educational institutions, especially when those consultations do not include religious organizations or private education institutions, but do include an organization seeking to decriminalize sex in public? B, can the Attorney General rule out any plans to remove exemptions to anti-discrimination laws for religious organizations in public schools? Can the Attorney General confirm that this government has no plans to decriminalize sex in public? Whoa. So that...
Yeah, and the attorney, he got a response saying that, yes, it is still illegal to do sex in public.
Is that this one right here?
Next page.
Okay.
The next image. Let's go through another image. Okay, that's the submission he speaks of that I found. You're looking at now, where they say
wait, this one. There's this, and then the other image is this. So there's this one that starts with end police harassment, and then the other one that says police have had
it's crime prevention. Look at the crime prevention one, right?
Okay.
Police have had a long
colorful history of patrolling beats with numerous stories of intimidation and arrests, often a result of covert operations employing agent provocateur and entrapment techniques to catch men in the act. Police also have a questionable track record when it comes to responding to vigilante behavior and homophobic violence at beats, particularly in relation to the murders at Marks Park in the 1980s, where officers inappropriately handled investigations, as outlined in 2005 inquest by Magistrate Jacqueline M. Millage, Senior Deputy State Coroner, Operation Taradale, findings and recommendations.
Okay, now stop. That link has gone down. That link used to go to ABC Four Corners website. I have the document, and you saw that document before when I put Gary Burns. So Gary Burns testified the police, covered up. His complaint about being violently rejected by children he approached, to quote, young teenagers, is his own quote, he approached for sex, okay? And so Gary Burns' fake gay hate crime has been used to ask for decriminalisation of public sex in front of children. That inquest goes back to Gary Burns, okay? As you've seen. Now let me show you something even more funny. Go back to the Twitter thread, okay. And you'll see a reference to the Australian newspaper. Open up the images on that one.
Okay, here we go. This one right here?
Yeah. That's Gary Burns' own comment on the Sydney Star Observer website. You want to read it?
Sorry, Euro lad. My understanding of the implication of your comment implies you seek revenge against Mr. Kennett that causes him to suffer. Many gay men have been beaten to death simply for being different. Excuse me. I remember when I was almost thrown over the Marks Park beat cliff top by 6 teenage boys. I pissed my pants because I thought I was going to die. No one should die in a horrible way. I know because I almost did. Mr. Kennett has incited hate. Kennett.
Now, next image.
Gay hate crime victim Gary Burns turns lawfare crusader. When 3 youths dragged Gary Burns towards the cliff at Sydney Bondi 30 years ago. How old is Mr. Burns?
See the problem? Oh God, I used to know his date of birth. I can look it up. It's in my records.
So 30 years ago, he would have been an adult, though, correct?
Yeah, and he called the boys young, teenage boys. Now, teenagers are not of the age of consent. Definitely not then. The age of consent was 18. You stop being a teenager when you turn 18. So he admitted that children he approached in a gay public sex park, they were under the age of consent, didn't want to have sex with him and chased them away. And that's his official story. But can you see the Can you see the word 3 there? And the last one was 6. He can't even get his story straight. He doesn't know how many. Can you see how his story changes? The story he uses to claim Social Security.
Exactly.
Keeps changing. Yeah. It's a fake gay hate crime. The police have no record of it. If he had interactions with the police, it would have been recorded.
And that's the thing, is that anybody that has a story that can constantly shifts or constantly change or constantly gets bigger or smaller or what have you is probably lying in some way, shape, or form. So Gary Burns is definitely not not telling the truth in some senses. And I think you're right about that. I think he approached young men for sex, and they ended up
boys under the age of consent at the time he did it. He tried to do it. He admits doing public sex crimes, and he attempted a public sex crime with children or boys under the age of consent, and it didn't go well for him. So then a judge writes him a love letter for doing that. Is that scary?
Yeah, it is, because that is for anybody that's watching this. That's what.
Let's have a look at Fred Niles' answer. He got Fred Niles got an answer to that question there.
Where?
That's the answer that the one that says, "Sorry, you can't fuck in front of children in public yet, Gary." That tweet. It's the green, the one from the Parliament with the green and the red. There you go.
This one.
That's the one. No, the down. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen, which is delayed. To get a nice big. So yeah, that one. The one that says you can't fuck in public. That one.
Where I just saw it. I literally just saw it. Okay, right here.
It's a single image. Yeah.
Yeah. Attorney General Justice Anti-Discrimination Fred to the Minister of Aging, Minister of Disability Services, Minister of the Illawarra, representing the Attorney General and Minister of for Justice. The annual report of the New South Wales Anti-Discrimination Board show that it had been in consultation since 2008.
Yeah, you've read the question before. Just look at the answer. Answer 1C.
I am advised. 1C, the New South Wales government has no current plans to amend existing offences as applied to sexual acts in public places.
Yeah,
they essentially deny him the they essentially deny anybody the right to have sex in public, which I feel is a reasonable request. And gay, straight, or otherwise, that kind of stuff should be happening in the bedroom and not in public places.
Now, I'm the guy that found the Anti-Discrimination Board report, put it online first in 2008, and eventually, when I hooked up with Bernard Gaynor, he put a blog post on his blog, Gay Beats in Public Schools. I made that whole shitstorm in Parliament happen. That was my work. I take credit for this whole saga. I've been fighting the Anti-Discrimination Board, Court of Child Sex, even before they came after my dad.
I kind of want to bring up your where we kind of left off with the OTO last time as well. Which would be
yeah, we now
where I gotta find where that was. That was in the
yeah, we're going to talk about an OTO pedophile in America today. I have found a case where there's three cases that I know of where OTO members have been arrested for abusing children.
And
you probably
I kind of want
you probably want to open up the same document I sent you last time.
And I think we left off somewhere around this handsome fellow with the middle finger up. Of course.
Yeah, we've covered that. Now, I was meant to finish that document, and I decided I found that there was I found my third case of OTO members being charged with raping children yesterday, the day before yesterday. So I spent the whole day doxing a gay Democrat supporting basketball coach working in a fake religious school that publishes books for the OTO, being charged with child rape and getting off in California. So I thought we might want to go through that. But that image there of the Chorazon Club is relation to the Jack Parsons' favorite demon. He called Chorazon. And that's a division of the OTO where all the gays in the OTO got together. And the text from the Chorazon Club there also features almost identically in Aleister Crowley's book, Magic in Theory and Practice. So can you go to read that? That's the OTO's doctrine of child sacrifice.
So it says,
for the highest spiritual workings.
It says Chorazon Club headquarters, Doth, Adonis, the story of Hercules and Melkart, the legends of Dionysus and Mithra, Cain and Abel, etc. You will note that most, I think that's Cimaris, speak of the animal being killed within the circle of the triangle so that its energy cannot escape. For the highest spiritual workings, one must accordingly choose a victim which contains the greatest and purest force. Thus, the most satisfactory and suitable victim is a male child of perfect innocence and high intelligence. The nature of this child, of course, depends on the ability of the magician to form it. The sacrifice must coincide with the utterance of the most sublime and secret name of the god whom one wishes to invoke. Good Lord. It is a great effort for the mind to remain concentrated upon the purpose of the ceremony, but the overcoming of this difficulty in sincerity lends most powerful aid to the magician. The magician should not neglect to sacrifice the female child to TF, the priestess be an initiate. Their purpose should coincide. Therefore, the priestess be an initiate. Therefore, purposes should coincide. If not, then the priest must take the proper invocations for her when she makes the sacrifice, prior or simultaneous with his own. The aim in the triune formula should be for the two to work together to arouse ecstasy in the third person. Thus, the priestess represents Hadet, and the priest represents Hadet, and the priestess knew it. his duty is to bring knew it herself to the point of ecstasy, and hers to attain had it, and together they give the supreme pleasure to the
Yeah.
sufferers.
Well, look, here's the point here. The OTO is clearly talking about sacrificing male and female children. Now, I want you to go to the Australian Case Law website, AUSTLI, AUSTLII, Australian Law Legal Information Institute.edu.au, AUSTLII.edu.au, and type in the search box Auto Templi Orientis Child Sacrifice.
Australian Legal Information Institute. What is it? What do you need me to type in again?
AUST for Australia.
No, I got on the site, but what do you need me to type into the search
bar? Auto Templi Orientis Child Sacrifice.
Holy crap! 2007, eh?
Actually, I'll put it in the chat for the live stream now. I'll just do it myself. AUSTLII.edu.au. My internet's being very slow today. It's not normally like this. Auto Templi Orientis Child Orient. So ORIENT Child Sacrifice. Okay. And it's searching now. Oh yeah, and you've got the case of that's the VCAT case. I wanted you to find the ACT case involving Christensen. Or just search for Douglas Ezzi, Auto Templi Orientis.
Is that Botro versus Christian?
Now find the word child. Find child sacrifice in that document. Search within the page.
How do you search within the page? Oh, search
Control F.
Okay. Control F. Oh, okay. The applicant contended that the respondent is the owner of the website, which has published material accusing him of being a Satan worshiper, a pedophile, Satanist, a child stealer, as covering up for pedophiles, as a member and national treasurer of the OTO.
Scroll down. Keep finding the next one, and you want to see where Douglas Ezzi gives his testimony. Control F. Next one. Keep going down until you find Douglas Ezzi. Ezzi. Keep going down. Yeah, that's him. He sued Luke's Army, which is a anti-government child kidnapping website. Keep going down. You want to find where Douglas Ezzi. Here we go. That's the one. That's the one. Douglas. Up. The where Douglas Ezzi makes his testimony.
I think this is the last one.
The headline is OTO and child sacrifice.
Okay, Crowley,
yeah, you got it now.
In the OTO. In Crowley's writings, there is an often misunderstood reference to child sacrifice. For the highest spiritual working, one must accordingly choose that victim which contains the greatest and purest force. A male child of perfect innocence and high intelligence is the most satisfactory and suitable victim. And in a footnote, it appears for the magical records of Frater Perdurabo that he made this particular sacrifice on an average about 150 times every year between 1912 and 1928. In a version of this Crowley text.
Now stop. Yeah. Now here's the thing. We saw the original text published on an OTO's internal documents before it made it into Aleister Crowley's Book of the Law, which also talked about sacrificing little girls. And he tries to say, now the OTO gets its claims as a religion because they believe the Book of the Law was not wrote by Aleister Crowley. They believe a trans-dimensional space demon called AWAS
Yeah.
Just think of Xenu that the Scientologies have, okay? They think a trans-dimensional space demon, whatever, AWAS, it's got channeled itself through Aleister Crowley's Whore of Babylon wife, whatever you want to call her, to read the Book of the Law. And Aleister Crowley just wrote it down as his wife was in a seance chanty thing, speaking, you know, having the demons speak through her mouth. And that's why they claim that their book is divine. And under the laws of the land, you can only be a religion if you believe in the divine. But here, this Douglas Ezzy is arguing the OTO is not a religion. It's a cult started by one man, and you can interpret the meaning of the text by what this man has said about it. So they shouldn't even be in court on this testimony alone. And you see there's a reference to magical masturbation. So child sacrifice really means a magical masturbation, is what Ezzy says. And Ezzy says the only people who can talk about the OTO, or the judge in a different case said the only people who can talk about what the OTO really means in its child sacrifice doctrine is the OTO itself. So they can't be criticized by anyone else.
Yeah, symbolic language and language that is deliberate. The academics Jenkins and Mayer Katkin observed that he was actually parroting a statement by the Catholic Church that each ejaculation contained a potential human life, and that masturbation and contraception thus ended this life. The Thalamite Duquette shares this interpretation. Symbolic language and language that is deliberately deceptive and obfuscational is extremely common in magical treatises, such as those by Crowley and by practitioners of other magical traditions of a similar nature. The argument that Crowley was speaking symbolically is consistent with his other writings and his character in the biographies and literature of Crowley that I have read. There is no mention of any historical evidence that Crowley actually engaged in human sacrifice. I think the suggestion is quite implausible. It is clear that the Thelemites and the OTO reject the idea. I don't believe that. I don't believe that they reject the idea of child sacrifice, because if they're writing that the purest way to make their magic is to use a boy child with pure innocence and so a virgin young boy with high intelligence is the best way to make magic. Why would what's the symbolism? There's no symbolism. It is straightforward what they want to do. There's no symbolism in that.
Yeah, Douglas. Well, in my next video with you, I will expose how Douglas Ezzy writes books about witchcraft with OTO members in his books for profit, and should not have even been a witness in the trial, because if you're doing business, making money out of the OTO, by offering University of Tasmania courses in witchcraft for students to put on their government student loans, and also writing books with the OTO for profit, you're not really an impartial witness, are you?
No. I just looked up. You said Douglas Ezzy?
Ezzy, yeah. I linked to EZZY. Anyway, in my interview with Jim Fetzer I did in 2017, I exposed his hypocrisy in those regards. Now, if anyone hasn't seen our previous broadcast, we did prove the OTO has a doctrine of forcing children into orgies. Would you like to play the video of the head of the OTO, David Shriven, this time admitting that they consume human blood? Because people have been sent to jail for the crime of saying the OTO consumes human blood. And let's go watch the global head of the OTO in America and the whole world, David Shriven, Frater Siberius X, say we drink blood.
Hold on one second. Let me just, I got to cue this all up. I'm going to cut that one off. And search. Okay. Sorry, guys. Just takes me a second to get because I have to close the screen share and reopen it. So I'm going to kind of turn it down just a tad bit.
Louder.
Let's rewind that.
The audio is not very good.
No, it's not on this. I would.
But if you watch, if people watch it later, they can see. You can see from the headline of the video that they drink human blood. It's no secret. And just last night on Amazon Video, in the last show in the second series of Law on our Amazon from Jeff Bezos, they did a whole recruitment drive for the OTO praising Jack Parsons and his demons. You can't make this up. And even in the Hollywood stylized version of what the OTO does, it had them cutting each other's wrists and putting blood on the cakes of light and eating the human blood. I mean, maybe Amazon needs to be sued for saying the same as what Leg and Divine did, who were jailed.
Well, I think they hide this stuff in plain sight, and they know that a lot of people will, because these things are so perverse, so sick, so twisted that when confronted with it, your mind's going to take any escape that's given it. So when somebody says, "Oh, well, it's just symbolic," your mind goes directly to that. I just want to believe that it's symbolic and that these people aren't doing this, but they are doing this. And I think that's just a part of the human condition, that when we hear things so disgusting and grotesque like this, that we can't help but try to avoid paying attention to it. But yeah.
I mean, so now, because I was meant to write up finish the report on Douglas Ezzy and a lot of other things and expose Dr. Ina Mickelson. That's going to come in part 4. Saying, exposing that she's a real anti-pedophilia activist, and expose the financial motive for the OTO to sue people, because that got them their tax-exempt status, which is worth lots and lots of money. But I think we should now go have a look at the case of an OTO member in America who is a gay basketball coach obsessed with chasing little black boys, being charged with filming children in his toilet like a pervert.
So where do you want me to go, to your Twitter or to the document itself? This
is a draft document. So we go down to the section of the draft document and go to New Falcon Press OTO child sex case cover up, because I'm just putting my raw research before I make the document finished.
I found it here. Let me just share this with everybody. Is this the one? Am I correct in that, or do you want me to go to a different one?
Yeah, that's the actual head of New Falcon Press that publishes the main OTO expert on sex magic.
So then there's the other one that says occultist Michael Miller charged with pedophile crimes. CEO Michael.
Let's just go through them all, because there's a guy that had an issue with him, another occultist, and he actually found out this guy was on a gay dating website too back in 2009. And now I've also found a new gay dating profile for him where he lies about his ethnicity and lies about his age, and he uses a gay dating profile to hook up with 18, well, as low as he can, 18-year-old black boys. He's a basketball coach charged with child abuse. He works in a alleged Christian school that's not Christian, and he's a Satanist.
I'm trying to find second OTO book crediting Michael Miller. Let's look at that ones, because this is, I mean, right here is him being so just for people thinking that, so this guy is being credited with the publication of Spiritual Exercises of Thelema, right there.
Yeah.
So he is obviously writing. He's obviously involved in this. He's involved in the perverse side of this this occult. It's a cult. Cult. I mean, there's nothing else to call it. It's a cult. It's an occult cult.
If you go through, let's go. He's actually set up a radio show.
Michael Miller, right here.
Yeah.
Michael
Miller. Michael Robert Miller is the pedophile's name. He's also known as Head Coach 35 on numerous gay dating websites and Twitter. And he actually got off a child sex charge in very dubious circumstances. And he's just recently put out pictures of him hugging a retired police officer. He admits on his own website that he's a Mason. And like I said, every single member of the OTO is also a Mason. Okay?
All right.
And nearly every single one I've docs, it's like a 95% chance that I will find them linked to the Masons as well. Definitely in Eugene, Oregon, every single member of Coffnia Lodge in Eugene, Oregon are Masons. Scroll straight down to the bottom. I'm a Mason.
Okay. Coach of the Year 18 times. Coach Miller has earned 4 college degrees and is a member of the Masonic Lodge 327 located in Long Beach, California. And this is people might wonder why we're doing so many episodes, because there's so much to unpack, first off, and second off, I want to be able to dig into each of these and people research them for themselves and see these weird connections with these people that have all been charged with sexual conduct with children. Sexual conduct with children. This stuff is proving that these people are, and this is in America. This isn't Australia like we were talking about. Neither was a lot of the other stuff. This is stuff that's in America that they are using, and they are practicing, and we are kind of just conditioned to say, oh well, we don't want to talk bad about the LGBT community because we are afraid of being called bigoted or racist, not racist, but bigoted, homophobic, this and that. Sometimes phobias are correct, and if people of the LGBTQ plus P community are acting like this and then persecuting anybody that exposes it, then it's not a phobia, because a phobia is an irrational fear. This is a real.
It gets better. It gets better. This guy here, like Gary Burns, used anti-discrimination law against his former employer and lost. And it's very interesting old court documents of this guy. This guy has a long history of very suspect behavior. The court documents showed he broke the Public Records Act by purging his computer in 2009 when he was suspect of pedophilia allegations back then too. This guy just keeps skating free. Now, I myself have been arrested in America by a gay cop who was later prosecuted for producing doggone child pornography. You did hear that correctly, doggone child pornography. Christopher Kent Bowersox. And he got off with the charges dismissed in the furtherance of justice. Now I got off. That means the prosecutor decided not to prosecute him. You understand?
Yeah.
Half the charges against him were not even sent to a jury. Now, in my case, I said, look, it's my word versus a pedophile cop. Who's going to win? And the prosecutor said, oh, God, we got no chance. Please, just don't talk about this publicly. Please, we'll do anything. We'll make this court case we have against you go away. And so I got my matter dismissed for the furtherance of justice. But this guy here, he shouldn't have had half of his charges dismissed by the prosecutor for no good reason. And I feel sorry for the police that got him. Now, so if you go through the links, there's lots of other links. There's New Falcon Publications Forum is a very interesting one. And also his twitter.com/headcoach35. Now, on his other Twitter account for his radio show, he follows
it says that
college football radio.
I went to the Falcon publication and it says requested topic does not exist.
Which one?
Oh,
worked yesterday. Let me open it now. Maybe they know I'm onto them. Holy shit. I backed up all the attachments I downloaded from there. Let me just go to New Falcon Publishing.
A website about Michael Miller, basketball, and New Falcon publication.
Holy shit. They know I'm onto them. They know I am onto them. Oh my God. Yeah, this is very, very suspect. Let me just open it now. It would be an archive.is. I think I put that into archive.is. Let me check. Holy shit. See, this is what we're dealing with, a cover-up. Here we go, forum.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe I'm not clicking it right or. Oh wait,
I'm trying to open it now too.
Okay,
go to the top one.
I clicked.
Go to the top one. Yep. And go to the very top section.
The top section.
Go to top. The top announcement section.
I'm trying to find it. Where am I not?
Top section.
What? Okay, right here. I don't see an announcement section.
Just go to the top section. Yeah.
Why did we create the site?
The other one. Go back. Next one down. Yes, that one.
Michael Miller sees everyone as either a dupe or an enemy. Greg Lalone, a former associate of Michael Miller, who forgot to ask himself, which one am I? Background. His full name is Michael Robert Miller. He was born August 1st, 1964. The biological son of Alan Miller, a.k.a. Christopher S. Hyatt, Ph.D., and his wife, Georgia. Alan and Georgia divorced when he was an infant, and she married Benjamin Grabber. Athletic career, preparatory school.
Yeah. I'm just saying, don't go through it all now. Just if you download some of the documents on that website, it's very intriguing. And he made another. This guy here that Haidson made another website called. Let me find it. The hostmirror.blogspot.com. And on the hostmirror.blogspot.com, it talks about him having gay dating profiles with the name headcoach35. Okay, on the hostmirror.blogspot.com. And I found another gay dating site with him calling himself the headcoach35.
So
and
we got to wrap this. I got about 5 minutes more, and we got to wrap this up. So
yeah.
What in the end?
Well, let me just give a speech on what I found out about this guy, just giving the significance of just one day's research into him. New Falcon Press publishes many occult books, including the head of the OTO on sex magic, Lon Milo DeCruit. Okay, this guy operates another alias online called Michael Night Sky, probably because he likes little black boys. He sells all the only books he sells on his eBay profile are OTO Aleister Crowley occultist books. and Michael Night Sky is an admitted member of the OTO. There was another character called Gnostic Warrior, which I have exposed as being an OTO member on the vote forums before they banned me for my anti-pedophilia activism, because the Great Awakening moderator Strazy is a pro-pedophile nutjob, and all the best posts on Vote Pizzagate were getting censored. Basically, you know, they're a bunch of pedos. And, you know, when you expose Disney's running a dating site for gay men and little boys, owlspace.bbbs.org.au, I mean, do you think that Disney should be helping gay men project themselves into children's homes to be mentors?
No, not at all. What? And they've aligned themselves with quite a few. Can't remember off the top of my head the one that's most.
Now, this Gnostic Warrior linked to a different police report in his sources for a different man with a different middle name to throw people off the right track, and then a week later said, oh, he's not in the OTO. You understand?
Yeah.
This guy is a disinfo agent, and he's also been talking about children and sex before. So if you search for Gnostic Warrior on the vote.co forums and search for my nickname Hojaruku, you'll see me starting a thread to expose him there.
So if people, again, if people want to follow Luke, go to Twitter, @StopBoyLover, and please support the work, because there's a lot of people out there that are doing a lot of good research. And I mean, you don't even understand. I've gone through this man's research a lot, and just going, you could literally spend 30 minutes and jaw dropped just by some of the things that he's archived, exposed, saved, photos, screenshotted, taking pictures offline that prove that these people are publishing things where they pretty much admit what they're doing. But they think that we're not looking, and now that we are looking, they're trying to scramble to get it all off the internet. But McKee has done us a favor by saving it, archiving it, downloading it, making sure it's out of their reach, so that it can be proven that they are doing this stuff. So I want to thank Luke for
even Mark Dice's videos about Jay-Z, the Illuminati Satanism documentary, even Mark Dice with over 500,000 followers gets censored. Anything negative of the OTO gets censored from YouTube. Okay, and the OTO is a Jewish Kabbalah sect, and the ADL has direct access to censor videos. I lost my whole channel because I exposed Claude Siegel in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona, saying I get Holocaust reparations from Germany. And he also said his mother is alive, and the Claims Commission, or Claims Con, emphasizing the word con, claimscon.org says your parents had to have died halfway. You have to be an actual Holocaust survivor in World War II to get reparations. It only goes to kids when both the parents of the kids died halfway through an application, which is a very rare circumstances. So I said, which Jew is lying about the Holocaust? You know, which Jew is lying about the Holocaust? And I put that up on 8chan, and I took out all my anti-pedophilia activism, all my videos, because I proved that at least one Jew was lying about the Holocaust. You understand? Shut it down.
And that's the thing. The Sabbatean Frankism has infiltrated every single religion, but no, I think Zionism is their strongest pillar of where they've really been able to get control, because they've been able to follow through this plan of anybody that doesn't want anybody that talks about Zionism or anything is immediately an anti-Semite. I have no problem with Jewish people. I have a problem with Zionism and Sabbatean Frankism and the OTO, because they're all connected and they're all against humanity. They're against innocence. They're against anything good in this world. So I want to thank Luke for coming on. I want to thank you guys for watching, and please share the crap out of this video if you can. Have a good night.